discussing the business of making and spending money.
Hello viewers, welcome to Money Radio. On this segment of Aviation Roundtable, we'll be looking at the ICAO audit that in the next couple of months will be happening in Nigeria. My name remains Kingsley Alu, your host. And with me today to discuss this very important subject is Mr. Godwin Ike. Mr. Ike is a versatile expert in the industry. And we'll be looking at this subject and what Nigeria can do to at least pass this test. For the records, ICAO normally carries out this safety oversight audit of all member states to ascertain their safety capabilities. In addition, they also try to look at the status of implementation of these member states of all ICAO relevant safety protocols and also standards. That notwithstanding, we are very much aware that in recent times there have been issues of agencies complaining that they are understaffed and they don't have the resources to engage the right kind of personnel that the industry at the moment, especially Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, may need to be able to pass the ICAO test. To do justice to this subject this day, I'm going to be discussing with Mr. Godi. Mr. Godi, what do you make of all this? The Director General of Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, Captain Musa Nuhu, in the week past, lamented that this is a big challenge. It's like a bind they don't know how to get out of at the moment. And there have been suggestions from stakeholders that maybe they can look at the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, look the way of Nigeria Airspace Management Agency, to see if they can get some good technical hands, at least to pass the test. But is this the way to go as a nation?
No, absolutely. By the way, viewers, please welcome to the program. Kingsley, what's going on is quite sad and very unfortunate that a huge nation as Nigeria will still be undergoing things that should be regarded as teething problems for younger nations and those that are not yet as established as, or rather are not as big as Nigeria is as a nation. And it's very sad, quite sad. I have taken time to study the entire aviation sector in Nigeria, study the laws establishing all the different arms of the sector. I have found something wrong, and the reason that we are having these kind of challenges. If, for instance, NCAA were to have a director general that can independently call the shots, he can have the power of making little bylaws here and there to guide the operation and at the same time make it possible for the agency to earn money rather than waiting to be fed by the federal government, the one they call the feeding bottle kind of system that we seem to be operating in Nigeria. The minister of the Ministry of Aviation is more or less in the system a god. Everything any of the other agencies want. I mean, when you talked about FAN has the same challenges as NCAA and as the other agencies within the ministry. Every little thing that any of those DGs needs to do, he or she must get permission from the minister. As a matter of fact, you must put up a memo to the honorable minister, get a response accepting that your idea is good before you get started. Even when you put together your budget, it must pass through ministerial approval. And so it doesn't give room for people to exert themselves and have initiative to get. all these agencies have different avenues of making money. If they were, to have good initiative independently, but because their hands are tied by the law establishing them, no DG can get up one day and say, hey, listen, because we can achieve this and achieve that, and we can do for the sector so and so, and therefore this group of people must begin to pay for licenses, and that group of people must begin to do this and that, looking for nice ways of raking in revenue in order to have enough to invest in getting the best hands to get the job done. It's not the way the laws are, couched at the moment. It's not possible. They can't do such things. You must put up a memo, first of all, to your minister, who, if he likes your face or thinks that you're making sense, may bother to reply you. Otherwise, if he doesn't respond to your memo, it ends and dies there. And as a DG, you are there sitting, bombing with ideas that can make things move, and somebody who law has given the capacity to tie a rope around your waist and hold you like I don't want to use the word that's coming in my mouth now, likening it to one of your pets in the house that wants to step through the door, and you just pull back. Hey, Billy, you can go. Stay here. And that's it. Billy stays there. I'm giving you an analogy of what's going on. And so that explains why NCAA doesn't have enough hands and enough engineers, and doesn't even have the resources to launch out and get things done in order to carry out its duties under the law establishing it. Something is wrong. And I must tell you, I had once met the minister, one of the TV stations where we had very long 1.5 hours program, live on air. And when we finished, I said to him, there's a whole lot of things that we should look at and see how you can, make some slight changes for this sector of the Nigerian economy to be more viable. He thought it was a good idea. Gave an appointment. Unfortunately, he didn't keep it.
What did you say? What did you say?
Well, I don't want to go into details because it won't be fair on him, and it won't be fair on me as well. You still need to be seen to be serious-minded that when you want to sell free ideas. After, I wasn't going to charge money; it was free. It was going to get to him free. Look at this. 2 heads are always better than 1. Just as 3 can be better than 2, and 5 can be better than 4. That's natural. It's the way it is in life, and people must open up their minds and open up, to criticism and then exchange of ideas. And you pick up ideas here and there, assess them and find out one that can move forward the sector you are heading, and then take it from there. We'll get nothing from arrogance. We'll get nothing, absolutely nothing, very honestly. Even in your home, Kingsley, your 10-year-old, if you have one of that age in the house, can say something that will shock and amaze you, and you learn one new lesson. If you don't have such, I have one in my home. He's always surprising me every day. He raises up an issue, and I'm like, hey, come and tell me more about this. And I humbly submit. And he tells me in school that happened and that happened. I get one new idea. Nobody knows it all at any time in this life. And until you die, you will never know it all. We'll keep learning. And our desire should be to have intelligent people around us so that we can learn more and be better, and then give better service to our nation and take it from there. So it's a problem.
So it's borders squarely on safety.
Yes, it is.
So government is gambling with our lives. Is that?
Would I say government? Well, they are part and parcel of government. But then, when you say government, then you hold other people in other sectors that may be doing fairly well, responsible for what they are. They shouldn't be responsible. So let's focus it on, the aviation sector that we are dealing with right now. Something is technically wrong with the law establishing all the agencies that are supposed to be working independently, but at the same time coming to the same table. That is to say, if the influence you bring to bear in your little circle, you Kingsley are ensuring that is the right thing that that's going on there, and I, Godwin, ensure that what's going on in the circle that I have control is the right thing, and Michael does the same for for his own little cycle. What happens, Kingsley? This is add up. They add up and give us that big effect, the positive effect we are looking for. There's no good nation that falls from the skies, no good agency falls from the skies. People work and add up and give the effect. But here we find a situation where those that should be controlling little circles to develop something that can come together and give us the effect we're looking for are hamstrung, powerless, can't really do anything from their own initiative. They want to depend on one man who's wielding the big stick. He tells you to move, you move. He tells you to stop, you stop. We can't move forward, having this kind of laws ruling the system. That is a fundamental problem I have found I have read all the laws, all of them, establishing all the agencies. There is always this common factor of you want to lift a finger, you talk to the minister, who chooses whether he wants to reply you or not. And if he replies you, you take it further. If he doesn't reply you fold your arms and wait. How can people exert initiative if this is kind of system? That's part of what I wanted to also mention to the minister, to his face. I wasn't going to insult him, no. I wasn't going to make him look little, no. I was going to respectfully say to him, Minister, if we truly want to have a wonderful aviation sector like is happening in the UAE, a whole lot of people around the world say, oh, these people are awesome. They got the best airline. They've got a fleet. They're just busy conquering the world with the aviation sector. It is the initiative and the good sense of two brothers who are ruling the Emirates. All right, and who have said, listen, if I give you responsibility, you do whatever you like that is right. Do it and let me know and take responsibility. That's what's going on there. You don't find the head of the sector going to look for one individual there to seek permission to carry out an initiative. Draw up your plan. Tell us the budget. We get professionals to take a look and confirm that it's fair. And we say, okay, you get it done and take responsibility and do it right. If we don't start that system, we will never, the world is never, quote me, anytime, anywhere, we will never get it right. Especially in this sector that I have interest. It's a passion. Listen, it's just a passion. I'm a licensed surveyor and valuer, and I took up a passion about 40 years ago and developed it into something that I can challenge anyone, anytime. Sit down with me. Let's discuss this issue and then see how much each of us knows about this. So is this the problem? This is the problem, Kingsley.
Yeah, but where do we go from here? Because obviously the lack of quality technical personnel to oversight the industry is a huge challenge. Where do we go from here?
Where we go is when I think we need ICAO to come in and see that we're not ready, and then maybe suspend us, or maybe take steps that we'll find embarrassing.
But ICAO might not know that they went to FAA, FAN or NAMA to engage some of their technical hands to just pass the test.
Yeah, but it's now in the media. You think they wouldn't have an opportunity of knowing that this program took place today, or the one that the Captain Nuhu attended and announced what you just said.
Yes.
You think those in Canada are not listening, are not watching? You're joking. They don't joke like us. These guys are all over the place. They're looking through anything that's aviation, any word you pronounce concerning aviation, anywhere in the world. They get the information, they're assembling them and making sense out of them. So they now know that we are planning to go and borrow engineers.
Yes.
And they're going to ask questions. They're going to ask questions. And may God help us that they don't discover one or two, cutting off corners and then embarrass us with releasing information that we're going to find, very embarrassing as a nation. And I hope somebody does something as quickly as we'll still have time. Basically, I'm saying these DGs should have enough power to exert their initiative and take responsibility. This idea of every little thing you go to one man who chooses to answer you or chooses to leave your paper on his table, and that's the end of the initiative. It won't help us. Go and take a look at the law establishing all the agencies. Take a look at all of them. Each of them must anything. As a matter of fact, it would even the one I found funny in all the laws. Before the government can even make an appointment, it is the minister that will recommend to Mr. President, who will then make his own assessment, maybe recommend about 2 or 3, and then he, from his own point of view, he makes an assessment of who will be most suited amongst the 3 recommended, and then he appoints. And then the man comes and takes a seat. I'm the head here. And then he looks around and sees that I can increase the income profile of this organization. From the services we offer, we can do this and do that, and then begin to get in some cash and be able to develop the place, digitalize the place, get things going the way they should. Good initiative, good thoughts. But can he carry it out? Kingsley, the answer is no, he can't. He must put up a memo to his honorable minister, who would need to understand and come to think of it, an initiative that is not yours, an idea that is not yours. For me to open your head and plant it in your brain is an uphill task. If you don't have an opportunity of seeing that I have taken responsibility and have rolled it out and it's working well, you say, "Oh, wonderful idea. Oh, Godwin, was that what you were telling me?" Yes, that was what I was telling you. And then everybody will then clap. And if it goes wrong, they say, "Hey, what nonsense is this? This is just totally wrong. What's this we have on our hands?" What happens? I take responsibility. And if it's an environment that has some sense of honor, the next thing I do, I put in my resignation and walk away. I resign for bringing up an expensive initiative that costs the organization so much money that costs the nation a whole lot of resources, and that initiative failed woefully. I don't need Mr. President to call my attention if we were behaving well in this part of the world. I do not need the honorable minister to call my attention. I will simply take responsibility and say I am not worthy of sitting on this chair anymore. You sign up your resignation and walk away, and somebody else gets into your shoe and continues where you start and try again. That's how to develop. That's how to develop, Kingsley. If we're not courageous enough, not bold enough to accept that our laws are not helping us as much as they should because of the way they are couched, then we do not want to move forward. So we have safety issue here, and may God help us. We pray a lot in this part of the world, by the way, and that's probably why God is having mercy on us and why we're not falling out of the skies the way we should, by the way we're behaving. I don't know if you heard about something that happened in Benin, not too long ago. Did you watch that video?
Yeah.
I mean, how could hold there? I don't know how to express it. I am embarrassed and disappointed that things like that will happen in our airports, where there is no scanning machine to look through luggages entering the airplane. There's no light, to get things done. You can't even use the computer system because no power, and then you doing everything manually, and then searching bags by just feeling around the bag and throwing them into the airplane. Thank God that some of these bad guys in our midst, didn't get to know that such a thing was going on there. They would have brought down that plane by one little homemade device. So we shouldn't be taking these kind of chances. Definitely, we have a problem in the sector. Who can help us? Your gaze is as good as mine.
Is it right to say that most of these DGs are compromised?
I can't use the word compromised. I have described to you their unfortunate situation.
Yeah, but you rightly said, if you were to find yourself in their shoes, what you honorably do is to tender a resignation. They are not resigning.
Oh well, that is a tricky part of the situation, and I'm just wondering, in this
at the expense of public safety.
Yes, I'm just wondering, in this kind of environment that we have, assuming, since it's not in our culture at the moment, assuming you resign and walk away, what's the guarantee that the man coming in is coming there to do any better, other than begin to lick the boots of the big shot and continue to do the wrong things and still continue to put us in danger? I don't think, in all honesty, in my conscience, because I know what they are going through and I know their challenges, I would not hold them personally responsible for what's going on. I hold the system, where the laws. Our distinguished men and women in the National Assembly, I'm sure they will watch this and they will hear this. Let them take a look, make some intelligent changes. If because it's not their field, they think they can't think it out. We don't charge them money when they invite us to talk to them, do we? In this studio that I've come in here, did I charge you money to come here to discuss this issue? So it's all about national development and our own contribution, something that will be remembered for when we are no more here. That's what some of us are doing. Aviation doesn't feed me. It doesn't. But I spend a whole lot of time dealing with it. And I spend a whole lot of time pouring through my books. And thank God for the kind of wife I have. If I had somebody different, she would never understand why her husband would sit in his studies, pouring through books up until 2, 3 a.m. and come to bed to spend only about 3 or 4 hours of sleep and start a new day. It would take a special woman like I have to understand that, because she recognizes you have a passion and you need your nation to look like some of the civilized nations that you've been privileged to visit from a very young age up until this day. That's what's pushing people like me. We're here. If you don't have the time to study and get to know some of these things, ask us. We'll give you the information free.
Yeah, but
and build a nation for us.
Some of these agencies, this committee, Senate committee, House of Representative committee, they do perform oversight functions on some of these agencies. So why is it that despite all this, all the interrogations, we're still hearing this just because ICAO may be coming in the next 6 or 7 months' time?
It's part,
despite all this,
it's part of the unfortunate system we're operating, and somebody needs to help this nation and get this nation bail out of this. It's I'm looking for the appropriate word to describe the entanglement that we have as a people and as a nation. We are really stuck in the middle, where it was Michael Jackson that sang a song to say it was too high to get over and too low to get under, and he's stuck in the middle. That's the kind of situation we have on our hands as a nation, as a people.
Okay.
We see the situation seems to be too high to get over and too low to get under, and we seem to be stuck in the middle, and somebody needs to untangle us.
Okay. Just last question for you.
Yes.
A brief one at that.
Yes.
Recently, we've seen upsurge in passenger traffic at the airports.
Yes.
Because the security issues on the roads.
Mm.
But at the same time, that has also come with its own challenges.
Mm.
We've witnessed cases of passenger violation of their rights and all the rest. And the airlines seem to be too recalcitrant. Nobody seems to be doing anything about it.
Yes, that is bothering me, and I can bet you, Kingsley, I've started an initiative that will be launched soon. I told you that the last time we spoke. Human nature is such that if there are no consequences for actions, human beings are not likely to get serious and won't do anything. It's just like when we talk about corruption in this part of the world as against corruption in America. I always say to anyone that bothers to listen to me, listen, America is equally corrupt. The difference is that they don't do it with impunity the way we do here. Because in America, if you are caught, the word is M-U-S-T, must. You must be punished. That is the difference if you're caught. But over here, often you find crooks look you in the eyes and say to you, yes, I cheated you, and what are you going to do? You take me to the police. Oh, wonderful. I go there and spend a few of the money I got from you and walk away. Or you take me to the court. Better still, in the next 10, 15 years, I keep you in the court, running from pillar to post, and the case will never end. And this is the reality of our lives, and so no consequence, and no one is serious, and everybody is joking.
And that is not to say that the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission is not doing enough. They are trying, but they're overwhelmed.
They are overwhelmed, and there is no way they're going to do more than speaking the grammar that they speak, move around, to people, counseling that they should have a change of heart and behave well. Assuming they pick you now as a bad guy and take you to court, and you get a good lawyer, you keep the consumer protection in court for the next 10 years, waiting to get judgment, and then they skate through the first one, and your lawyer goes to the appeal court, and another 2-3 years you are there, and then you get through, and by the time you're done, you spend 20 years trying to achieve what? And the officer that took you in won't be the officer to finish the case. The system is just completely nasty and irresponsible. And we need to put an end to it.
The way out.
What I've just said, change the system. If those that are in the National Assembly are listening, take a look at the laws. Do them in an appropriate way. And as a matter of fact, we shouldn't even be going through this hassle because we have examples to look at. We should be leapfrogging some of these challenges right now. We should be leapfrogging them because we have those that have set theirs and theirs are working, if nothing else, for the aviation sector, for instance. Take a trip to Dubai. Go and check out what they are doing and how they were able to do the magic of the Emirates airline. It's as simple as that. They will gladly tell you what they've done and how they got to where they are. You come home, change the laws to look something similar to what they are doing there possible, and we'll begin here to practice, and then the magic will be done. It will never fall from the skies. I tell anyone that bothers to listen to me anytime, never. It will never fall from the skies. We need to get serious. At the moment, we are joking.
Beautiful temple attorneys.
Yes, the beautiful temple attorneys very soon will be launched. The whole idea is Nigerians must now take charge. Come into a community through the web and register to be members, mature after 90 days. And what it means is that anybody that breaches your right, as many as they are, be there 1,000 of them in a single day, we will inundate them with cases until they come and settle and be sure that they do what the law asks them to do under the law. Anytime they disappoint you, anytime they cancel your flight. I mean, for instance, I told you the story once when we were out of the studio about my missing my flight in Germany, with the German airline. And I didn't need to beg. I needed to talk to anyone. As soon as I walked to the counter and they pressed the computer and saw that I was one of those that been taken off the system because there were some big shots that went for oil business in Texas. That was in Houston, Texas. All right. I was one of those whose name, were taken out of the system. And the young pretty lady said to me, "I'm sorry, sir, you're not flying today. I'm really sorry. We're going to take you to the hotel. It's going to cost you nothing. Both the transportation, the feeding, the overnight you're spending in the hotel, all free. And guess what? We're going to give you a paper that you collect when you arrive Frankfurt for 1,000 euros. It made me happy. I was not rushing to Nigeria for anything better than 1,000 euros at that time. Come on. I went to the hotel, had fun, ate good meal, came back the next morning, and flew. Got to Frankfurt, presented the piece of paper they gave to me, and they gave me cash. No questions asked, no argument, no stress, nothing. I got 1,000 euros and put in my wallet, and I was happy. That is because that if they did anything less, the law will punish them beyond the 1,000 euros. Okay. So, you see, they are behaving well not because they are better in character than we are, but because the law works and will punish you, must punish you if you go wrong. Here, no punishment, no consequence, and everybody's misbehaving.
Okay, Mr. Godi, thank you for coming on this program.
Thank you very much.
This is much you can take on this program. Join us same day next week.
Money Radio, discussing the business of making and spending money.